You were in Dubai, so can you tell me a little bit about that?
I went to Dubai during the year of the financial crisis. At the time, there are many European left. So I was fortunate to get an invitation from one of my church friends. The church friend is a French Taiwanese couple family. I was tired for the working environment in Taiwan. I think I should go and try because they have a accommodation like in the apartment, and at least I can have a
Place to stay.
piece of stay. Yeah. So I went for a visit during the time was before the year the Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa is the Burj Dubai is the tallest building before opening, and I went on the year.
Oh, in Dubai, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
I went on the year the Dubai Metro launch. So I went early. I went quite early. I went there for vacation. Actually, on the best season, I went on November. November is the best season, and I like the place. I do a lot of trip visits. I like the multicultural environment. My heart is really linked to the multicultural environment.
You feel comfortable there.
I like to learn because there's different kind of cuisine, different type of people there. I also have a good listening. I can understand any kind of accent, so I feel, I will not say I feel home, but I feel I belong to a city. I feel I belong to a city. I have a peace of mind. So I decide they say, oh, if you like here, you can maybe try to, because French are very open, right? We say you try to find a job, maybe you have job offer because you can speak different language. Not many Asians start working here as a manager, so they just encourage me. So of course, we met some new friends there from church, different communities there. I also went to Korean church. So I spread out my resume, and I really got two job offer.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool, right? When I look back for now, I still think I was very courage.
Yeah.
Even for now, I might be more hesitant.
Why? Is it just because you're older now and you think that because it seems like it would be an impulse for you at the time to just do that.
Yes.
Yeah, and now you're more cautious because you're older. Yeah.
I am more mature and I have more experience. Also, my parents get older, much older than that time, right?
Right. So then, when you made the decision and you got two job offers, what type of jobs were they?
I got two job offer. One is sales for Rotana Hotel. Rotana is the Arabic hotel.
Okay.
So it's the Middle East hotel chain. And because everybody want Chinese market, want Asian market, because European led, right? So they want to open new market. I got this one. Another one is a private jet for Asian market representation.
Oh.
So I'm like a brand ambassador. I'm doing this for a long time anyway. And I decided to take the private jet one.
Okay. Interesting. So, you must have met a lot of different people from all over then.
Yes.
Yeah. And how do you feel that your experience with that company, has it shaped a little bit about who you are right now?
I was the only person in the company can speak Chinese. And I still feel very grateful because the owner of this private jet company is the royal family of Jordan, and because the queen of Dubai is Jordanian.
Oh.
So we have a privilege to do something for the family. And I has been spoiled in some way, like the owner is a captain and is a family member of the Jordanian royal family. I has been always saying the story. He has a 17 private jet, but he has only one wife, even though he's very rich. So I've been always telling the story, spreading out the story to many people, saying, many people will say Muslims have many wives, but I think my experience are good. They are royal, respectful for women. I was spoiled in some way as a female manager. And
Was it because you're a foreigner? Because it seems like in the Middle East, their women are not necessarily considered
to work.
to work or to be open and things like that. So,
Yes.
I mean, did you feel like because you're Chinese, which is different, that you were allowed, or was it because of the company that you worked with, which was, more open?
Because in Dubai, there are 85% population expat are foreigners.
Okay,
Only
85%.
only 15% are local, and local they don't really have to work because they have family and government fund. Because many foreign company they want to register company there, they need to find a local partner, which means you
Right.
have to pay the sponsorship
Yeah.
annually, so they don't have to do anything. They just have
Yeah.
to borrow the ID for you. You just have to pay them sponsorship by
Right.
annual.
That's a little bit dangerous sometimes. I know a lot of people that did that in Shanghai. They would get somebody local to register their business for them. You were in Dubai for 6 years. Do you feel that? I mean, did you have any challenges living and working there? What types of you're nodding your head. What types of challenges did you have?
Because we have to connect it to different community, and different community might have a different observation and also bias for you. You just have to adjust because sometimes the bias just be there always.
Yeah.
And you cannot even reduce or try to highlight something about yourself. And you just have to deal with it.
Yeah. So when you're saying bias, it wasn't more really they were prejudiced against a Chinese person.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe some Asians.
And Asians, yeah. And so how did you end up dealing with that?
I tend to ignore, just pretend I don't know anything.
Okay.
And pretend you don't feel it. And you just be yourself and to work professionally, something like that. For example, when I arrived the first time, and the office manager for the private jet company is Syrian. And actually, he's a very good guy, very good, very capable, very reliable guy. But he really don't know what's the difference between different Asian nations.
Yeah.
Because he never been to Asia, right? So at the time, because we are over the living allowance, as any expat provide living allowance, because they never have Asian staff before. I was the first one. So he was asking around his friends. Many of his friends has a Filipino, maybe houseman or office girl, whatever. And he didn't have any idea about China, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia. He has no idea at all, okay? So at the time I arrived, I was in a 4-star hotel very close to the office because they have a contract for. So they were kind because the office manager is another Jordanian girl can take me to see some household rent, and I also see different kind of household rent. And at the beginning, they took me to a Filipino girl's house, like a bed space renting place. Consider it's like a 2-tier like back beds. We never have this kind of
Right, like a dorm room or something
we
like
never.
that. You have to live with somebody.
It's not possible to have this kind of room, right?
Yeah.
But they will not understand why. So I need to explain to them, saying yes, because the Filipino girls normally they came from big family, they live many people together, they are housemates, they are not the mega managers. You still have to disclose the difference.
Yeah.
Without showing proud. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Because I think what I learned, the good part and also the negative part from the Middle East is because many people there are trilingual, professionally trilingual. Majority people in my community working together, they can speak English, Arabic, French fluently, 3 language fluently. Do you know those people can speak multiple language. They're very smart.
Yeah.
And it's not easy for those smart people to be humble. It's not easy, difficult. So I have been working with many people for Asians' point of view are very proud and arrogant. And I've been in that environment for a long time.
You had to adjust yourself and learn to communicate with a lot of different types of people and also in different types of levels.
Yes.
What was one of the worst things of bias or prejudice did you experience in Dubai?
Okay. There was a one case because it's very difficult to get the driving license there. Because if you are not like major countries, you cannot convert your driving license directly. You need to go to the local system to went to a training school. If you fail, you need to go back to a training school. I know many people get bankrupt because of getting a driving license there.
Is it that important to have a driver's license there?
Yes.
So public transportation is not.
Not enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially during the summertime, it's very heat. It's not possible to go public transport only.
Oh, so then for you had to get a driver's license. So what was your situation?
I was fortunate. I got the driving license on the second test, and I have no any mistake. So consider when I finish the test, I take my transcript to the counter to redeem my driving license, and they don't believe it.
Oh.
They think how possible an Asian woman can pass on a second time, and it's no failure at all. It's 100% pass.
So was
No
it
points.
in English? The test was in English.
Yes.
Yeah. So they couldn't understand. Okay. And then what was the situation? How was it handled?
Because the task is not only the paper
Yeah,
task and also the driving
Yes.
task, and I just passed 100%.
Yes. Yes.
So for them, it's not possible for a female.
They didn't believe you.
They don't believe. They think it's a female and it's Asian. How possible it's 100%? Because how many people come here many times still not get license, right? And it was my first time. I feel the big bias, the racism.
So did they ended up giving it to you?
Yes, I got it.
After you had to fight with them or something?
I didn't find. I said, you can go to ask the examiner because the examiner, right?
Yeah.
Please go to double check with examiner, and this is really mine.
Yeah. Yeah. There's prejudice and bias and racism kind of all over the place. You know. So you were there for 6 years, and you're in Taiwan, so you decided to come back. What kind of skills do you feel like you ended up developing with your time abroad?
I think I could be very dynamic, and so efficiency and to keep the results. I'm quite result-oriented person, but I'm also very flexible in terms of adjusting different culture, different team members, because everybody have a different mindset, but not everybody are open on speaking out.
Yeah. These
are very. I think it would be the two top point for management's point of view. I normally encourage people to speak out their concern. Maybe not very directly because many people are very indirectly. So you need to make a big circle around.
Yeah, you have to know the different communication styles of the people that you're dealing with. Yeah.
Yeah, because in Middle East, the majority of the management came from the UK system. The education is UK system. So I think my communication skill has been upgrading a lot. British English is different, right? Yeah. They need to make a lot of circles, a beautiful description. They never say anything bad in public, right? Taiwan have a similar situation, actually, right?
I'm surprised that you would say that the British people would be that indirect, because in general, most countries in the West, they're more direct in the way that they speak or communicate, especially in business.
Yes.
So that's interesting.